Dave, thanks.
You bet, buddy.
560-5589, 560-KKTX. I wondered if you remembered our conversation,
yes.
And you said, he knocked her out.
Sure.
And then he drug her off. And here we have proof that the NFL did not react to the crime. It reacted to the public's reaction to the tape.
Absolutely. And I think that's dead on.
That's wrong.
Yeah, that's what happened, though.
Yes.
And I agree. There are times when I have access to stuff and I have to deal with employees, but sometimes you got to tap the brakes and just wait and let things play out and then make your decision based on the things that are in front of you.
But we have had one. I mean, this started in Ferguson.
Yes.
People had made up their mind what happened,
Yep.
And by God, they were going to steal TVs and break out storefronts.
Yes.
It's interesting, though, there are a number of stores on that street that were vandalized and burned. There are a number of stores that weren't touched. The reason is because the owners and their friends and the employees stood outside those businesses with gawns.
They stood guard. Yep.
And did you see that Asian-owned thing? They had shooters on the roof.
Yep.
And those guys all had those samurai headband things on.
Yeah.
I ought to post all those pictures. You saw that then?
I did. Yes, sir.
And you thought, well, look at this. There's a brown guy. Oh, there's a black guy. There's a white guy. There's another white guy and a black guy and two more brown guys.
Yeah.
Wow. What's the deal here? How come they're not shooting at each other?
Right. Weird. I think people took advantage. I mean, here's a situation. I can go, you're doing me wrong, so I'm going to go get these 22-inch rims.
That's right.
Appreciate you.
Got to have that. Got to. It's just puzzling, the mentality, isn't it? That maybe not for you, but for me. Because,
I was going to say, I was listening to the congressman this morning. I'm thinking, it's just par for the course for me. What he was talking about.
Yeah.
It. When I hear other people say it, it's shocking, but that's where we live.
It's an opportunity.
That's what. Yeah, I mean, just kind of.
I can't imagine. I'm at home and I hear this has happened. Yep. Okay, I'm going to go out and get us a new TV.
Sure.
Or I'm going to get those 22-inch rims. Or whatever else. I couldn't even make out what they were carrying. I know why you break into a liquor store.
Yeah. Well, the video I saw was the 22-inch rims being taken out. I thought, you got to be kidding me. But
well, here's the other thing.
You expect that. I know that's going to happen.
There's a guy in one of those photos. His pants are right under his butt cheeks.
Sure.
How do you carry anything off when you got to keep your legs so far apart?
Well, I mean, don't wake them up. That helps us catch them when they run from us. So keep those pants down around your knees. You can't run from the police. So.
Well, you hear policemen say, don't put your hands in your pockets.
Sure.
Don't put your hands in your pockets. I don't know why that doesn't sink in, but there was a case in, 10 or so years ago where some folks were caught breaking into a store.
Yes.
And a police officer chased one of the young guys down an alley. And the kid, the officer thought he was going for a gun.
Sure.
And shot him. The kid was unarmed. Speculation was he was pulling his pants up.
Yeah. But what people need to realize is it's serious business when we're out there. And from day one, when you enter into the police academy, they tell you, watch the hands, rookie. Watch the hands, rookie. That's what'll kill you. And if you're talking to my guys on Congressional at Everhart, Goodman and Mandy,
yeah,
the hands. Okay, so that guy reached into his waistband and pulled out a weapon, and so the hands will kill you. Watch the hands, Ricky. So we're taught that, and we tell people that all the time. I said, I need to see your hands because that's what'll get me.
I think they're going to put restrictions on you guys about shooting. I really do. Some of the things I've seen going on in this country since that whole thing happened it is just bizarre, and they'll keep saying those things until they run into trouble at their house, and then that's different. All right, more with the chief and Kelly Isaacs. Last Friday, it became the highest-ranking female officer in the Corpus Christi Police Department. And I want to thank the Caller Times for running the little pie chart.
I didn't see the pie chart.
Oh, you didn't?
Was it a diversity breakdown?
Yes, it was.
Okay.
All right. We'll talk about that coming up. News Radio 1360 KKTX. The Chief of Police, Floyd Simpson, in the box. Let me get to Rudy. Rudy, good morning. Welcome to Lago in the Morning.
Good morning. Thank you for taking my call. Chief Simpson, this is Mr. Rudy Tejano Peña.
Good morning.
I was reading the paper yesterday regarding the new, what is it?
Peddler ordinance?
The new guidelines on
door-to-door peddling.
Right. Yeah, right. And I was just wondering, how is that going to affect those of us that are involved in politics and go around passing out flyers and visiting with their neighbors?
It doesn't.
Yeah, I think you're fine.
Okay. Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Okay.
560-5589. 560-KKTX. I had the honor of interviewing a guy. It was quite a while ago, but he was a fighter pilot. His name was Red Isaacs. Mm-hmm. And he was Kelly Isaacs' father.
Yeah.
I also had an opportunity to work with Kelly Isaacs' mother. Mm-hmm. Her name was Judy. I can't remember Judy's last name, and I'm really embarrassed about that. But she was a traffic officer for the Corpus Christi Police Department. And I was really surprised as I read the story about Kelly becoming the highest-ranking female officer in the police department. She was promoted from lieutenant to captain during a ceremony on Friday. When Kelly made lieutenant, I think Judy was there, and we talked about both of them and how proud Judy was of Kelly. Oh. And so here we got Kelly not only carrying on the police tradition in her family, but, going her mom one better.
Sure.
Because Judy was in, and I contacted the police department, tried to get Judy's last name.
Well,
and they can't remember what it was, or they can't remember.
And I've got a text out right now for somebody to tell me if that's the case, because I wish, if it's true, I wish they would have told me that, because I would have made a point of mentioning that during the. Well,
if I'd have been there, I would have introduced you to her, and I would have made that perfectly clear.
Yeah, but I did get word that her dad was is a retired Navy captain.
Yeah,
yeah. So she's good people, man.
She comes from good stock.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
I would see her at the ball games every once in a while. Yeah, and we were talking about her mom. Now, here's the deal: her mother was in the traffic division, and then she was sort of an information officer. Oh, wow. For her last couple of years.
She did traffic reports and
she did. Yeah. We would get her to do traffic reports and just talk about some of the stuff that was in the blotter.
Yeah,
she was infinitely interesting. But if I'm not mistaken, we had a woman who was patrolling Weber that handed out so many tickets for speeding on Weber that they called her the Witch of Weber.
You don't know who that was?
Judy.
Okay. Wow.
Kelly's mom.
I'm going to have this discussion with Kelly.
Now,
because I wish you would have told me that.
Now, you see why it's important to tune in? You learn things on the show that you just don't get anywhere else.
Well, that's good stuff. But she, Javier Cantu was promoted to lieutenant, and Kelly was promoted to captain, and you should have seen the room. It was just full.
Oh, yeah.
And so that tells you when you're hitting a sweet spot.
Well, you didn't give us any inkling that you were going to do promotions. I think that was on your list. We just didn't get to it.
We didn't get to it. I should have said that, but there's so many things going on in my head, and then we get caught up in other stuff. But, that room was full, and it pointed to the respect that both those people bring. I actually had people asking me, so we know that you're in this push to hire more ladies. And I go, yeah. Well, they go, yeah.
Nobody took that written exam for her, did they?
Well, that's what I'm getting to. They go, so she get a little help getting promoted because you didn't have, I said, you got to be kidding me. That's a grueling process. And she competed well. There was 2 captains promoted before her, if you remember. One was Captain Alvarado, and then we had Captain McCarty, right. And Kelly was up. But that's a grueling process whereby you do a written exam, and then you've got captains from other departments. They came from Houston, Fort Worth, San Antonio, and Dallas, and they send these people through these mock exercises, and they grade them. And so, guess what? I had nothing to do with her promotion. She earned that.
I was standing next to Chief Simpson. There was it was what's that thing on, is it Wednesdays when everybody meets in that big room and the press is welcome to come?
Is that the Comstock meeting?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was a Comstock meeting, and they had a couple of people there advising the chief on who should be promoted to captain. And this is the way, and I'm going to paraphrase this, this is the way that the latter part of the conversation went. You have to promote a minority because you have these many white guys and these many Hispanic guys and only these many black guys. And the chief, and I almost laughed out loud. I had to leave the room. He said, "Really? You're keeping track of that? I just thought they were all cops." News Radio 1360 KKTX. All right, here's what we got so far. We were talking about Kelly Isaacs getting promoted last Friday. She is now the highest-ranking female officer in the Corpus Christi Police Department. She was promoted from J.V. Garcia. I know I bring him up a lot, but I've known J.V. for an awfully long time.
Sure.
And watching somebody with 2 stripes
go all the way up the ladder.
The ladder is really it's really very cool.
And it takes a long time.
Wally, good morning. Welcome to Lago in the Morning.
Hey, good morning, Shorty and Jim.
Good morning.
Hey, listen, I got a ticket from Linda one time on Weber.
Wow.
Yeah, she cost me $98.
Ouch.
Yes, ouch. The only ticket I ever had.
Wow.
Were you guilty?
I went down there and paid it. I didn't even have a ticket yet. I had to go back a couple of weeks later.
$98. How fast were you going, Wally?
I was going 48 to 35.
Ooh.
Oh.
That part of Weber, when you go 35, somebody rear-ends you.
Yeah.
And I seen the chief in the newspaper. He was up in Austin for 2 of his bike guards.
Yeah, we were going to talk about that next.
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought it up.
Yeah, you know what? I'm getting old. I'm going to be 73 today.
Oh, that's young.
You are?
Yes.
Today, wow. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
I'm an old hag, thank you.
Okay.
Wow.
Happy birthday, Wally. Let's go to that because Marty.
Manny. Gonzalez.
Yeah.
And Scott Goodman.
Yeah.
Those are the officers that were involved in the shooting, Everhart and Congressional.
Now, you've heard about people getting promoted to hero. And I have had a problem with that for a long time because I think hero status is awarded, comes from actions.
Yes.
Manny paid no attention to his own wound.
Yep.
Went over and put a tourniquet on his partner and then worried about himself.
Took care of himself.
Now,
and returned fire.
Yes. And most of you think, well, what would I do if I got shot? Okay, besides all that screaming.
Training. So now these guys have trained and have been going over that either actively and physically doing that stuff or in their minds. And what he did was second nature, and he got it done. And for that reason, he and Scott received last week from our governor, who incidentally, man, I don't talk politics, but that guy's a politician. He knew everything about those guys.
Yeah.
And, whether it was through briefing or whatever, he was able to recite kind of stuff, that occurred.
You know what? I really think one of the reasons I know he has a staff that is very diligent.
Sure.
But we have a real strong Aggie club here, and he's an Aggie, and he has been down here several times. So he picks up tidbits of information that he can use, and I'm sure he was thinking to himself, I'm really proud of myself for going to that and picking up those tidbits because I can spice up the conversation with that.
Yeah,
to his credit.
Yeah, he recognizes us. He knows Corpus Christi, and he was able to have a conversation.
Yeah.
But anyway, these guys got the Star Texas Award. And they were among other heroes from other cities. Some departments, police and fire, guys have given their lives in the line of duty, and then others were injured, like our two. And that was the photo that was in the paper. So I wanted to make it a point to go down and support those guys and their families as they received that award. And it was really good.
Kudos to you for doing that.
Yeah,
it was. Well, taking time off. I know. Look, everybody thinks, okay, taking time off is no big deal. But unfortunately, on the chief's desk, you wouldn't believe what piles up there.
Yeah.
Just from the time you leave for lunch and if you have an appointment or if speaking or something you need to attend, you get back in 2.5 hours.
It keeps coming.
Where did this come from?
Yeah, and the time off, even on the weekends, you typically work. I'll get Sunday.
And here's the other thing. I have it on pretty good authority that Manny reported back to work, and they said, no, you can't come back yet.
He's a stud, man.
They sent him home.
Yeah, he's a stud.
He hadn't been released officially.
Yeah.
That kind of dedication from a small-town police force should make you all not only very happy, but sleep better at night.
Yes. News
Radio 1360 KKTX. Chief Floyd Simpson in the box. We've talked about Kelly Isaacs, new captain, and a new lieutenant. We talked about your guys. They got the Star of Texas Award.
Yes.
Man, that must be
big time.
Yeah. What did that look like? I looked it up. It's
it's a what you get is a big old plaque from the governor, and there's not a ribbon to wear on the uniform. At least I didn't see one. Okay. This is my second trip to Austin, recognizing some of our guys. When I came, just kind of doing my homework, I saw some pretty heroic things that had gone unrecognized. And so we petitioned the state to go back as far as 2002. And we pulled those guys out and recognized those guys. And I think we went down, my first time, we had about 5 or 6 guys that had gotten that same Star of Texas Award for things that had occurred, 10 years prior. So.
This is not a pleasant subject, but we have had a rash of shootings.
Yes. Right now, I'll start out. We're 3 homicides above where we were the same time last year. And I say that with this asterisk. Most of those shootings, and I always pull out the Sherrill Drive shooting, were shootings whereby, and even in the Sherrill Drive shooting, more and more we're learning that there were some relationships intertwined. But there are many of our homicides have been, people who were doing things that
illegal stuff.
Yeah, that we normal people don't do. And so the message to the public is, if you're, minding your own business and you're going to work every day and you're doing the things that, quote, normal people do, then there's a high chance that you're not going to be engaged in some of this violence that you've been seeing. The people that have been engaged in this stuff are people that have been doing bad things to each other and to us.
Well, this one, you got a burglar and break-in and entering guy who has decided he needs some drugs. So he goes to a kingpin of the Mexican mafia, and he ends up getting shot in the head.
Yeah, and we're not able to talk about the details of any of that stuff, but I know people know stuff, and it wasn't a normal daily interaction between neighbors.
Right.
We'll put it like that. And here's the other good news is that your police department, once again, and I'm really proud of them, they've got, I think we have 1 outstanding homicide this year. So we're still trying to deal with the, I think it's the Corbin housing, that we had a murder over there. But outside of that, every offender is in jail.
Well, that I think there was one that happened before you got here. I'm not sure. The guy that was shot at the stop sign is in the Bluff. He was in a pickup, and there were several stories circulating.
Yeah,
still no.
Right. So we have a couple of cold cases that RO and that group and all those guys are down there working. But in speaking so far this year, of the 16 homicides we've had so far, 15 of those have been solved, and the offender's in jail.
Do you just, we were talking about, these are people with records who are pretty much dominating this category.
Sure.
Are the 15, are they all people with records?
With the exception, of the offenders generally have records, and a lot of times the victims are also offenders. They have criminal backgrounds, and so the message to the public is there's not these these stranger.
Yeah, you're not just running into them on the street.
Sure.
Well, Chief, I appreciate it. It's good to see you.
Good to see you, sir.
I will see you in
Is it vacation time?
Let's see. Yeah, I'm going to be on vacation. Who's doing the show that day? Marcus. Yeah. So you don't have to come in next week.
Oh,
if you don't want to.
Okay.
Or I'll let you know later today. I'll check with Marcus and see what he wants to do. But
well, enjoy your time off.
Hey, I very much appreciate that. And have a Bluebell Country Day.